From the shores of the Saginaw River, I'm Jeff Doan with the 2019 Rockin' the River Preview Special, formerly known as the River Roar, sponsored locally by Real Flavors, comes to you. We have got unique conditions this year as the water levels are higher than they have ever been on the Saginaw River. And thinking for a few moments that the race would not even be able to happen, we've been able to shift on the fly and make it happen. There will be a much different racing condition this weekend, as the seawalls will not come in as a factor in this race, as the waves will not cause a reverb and a double chop back onto the course. So it should be some of the smoothest racing you've ever seen here on the Saginaw River. Upwards of 60 boats are going to be on the water this weekend, making the 31st year for the Rockin' the River the best event maybe that we've ever had. Over the next few minutes, we're going to talk to some drivers, give you an insight to the different classes that are here this weekend, and maybe talk to one of the race officials as well as we gear up for what should be a great of the second of 3 weeks in a row of superb events here in beautiful Bay City. We'll be back in just a minute. Good afternoon and welcome back to the 2019 Rockin' the River, sponsored by Real Flavors. We have got a great treat for you today, as we do all weekend long. I'm with Jerry Rinker. And Jerry, these boats north of Nashville, for the first time that I know of, are going to put on a great show this weekend for the fans.
We actually did race one time at St. Louis, I believe. That was several years ago. But it's a treat to come here. I've been coming here since I was a little kid watching my brothers race. And I'm anxious to race out here. And you know that we're the show. The tri-halls are spectacular. Everybody will be talking when we get finished because it's pretty exciting. I have to take a pill before I get in the boat because it's so exciting.
It's a thing of beauty. Now tell people just a little bit about these tri-hulls and how they're powered and the size of the boat.
First of all, the boat is actually a 70s model 166 Glastron. And when we first started racing these, John Schubert and Schubert started this class. They were actually designed for 90 horsepower. And we're throwing 140s on them, and my first 3 boats, 2 of them I found in fields, and people said that you could have it if you get it out of the field. Well, these boats weren't designed for what we were doing with them, and after 2 races, you had to take ratchet straps and attach the transom to the dash of the boat to keep the motor from falling off the back of the boat. We're actually running 140, late 70, 140, Johnson Avenues. We can do anything to the boat or the motor, but you have to run stock gas, pump gas. So they're souped up 140s, and the top speed for this boat, radar, was 67 mile an hour. In a race, the most I've ever seen is 56, and I hope to get there today at 56. I might be out front.
Now, a couple of great longtime sponsors with Depends and Geritol, as well as McLean Trailers. You've got quite the trifecta of sponsorship.
I have a tremendous bunch of sponsors, and you left out Preparation H, Viagra, and Slow and Easy. Because of my name and my age, we have lots of real nice sponsors that keep me up and going.
Now, at close to 75 years old,
76. I just turned 76.
Just had another birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
You are the king of this division, and also here to bring in the next generations, which your grandson just stepped up and is now a part of.
Yeah, my grandson is now running the boat that's behind me. This used to be my boat, and I moved up to a newer boat. And he's 18, and this will be his 3rd race. In his 2nd race, he got 3rd in Port Neches. And that was pretty spectacular because he was out of control the whole race and beat John Ottinger by a half a boat length at the finish line. And there's a bunch of younger guys. There's a 15-year-old that raced against me at Fort Neches. And I spend more time in the boat. I have more stick time than all the other guys put together because I'm not retired, but I have a lot of free time on my hands.
Well, with these boats, obviously, you are going to be the talk of the show this weekend because having not seen this before, people are going to be wowed by what these boats bring to the table.
What this class is it's stock car racing on the water. We run into each other. I've been run over. I've had the motor ripped off the back of my boat. Most of the time we come in and there's no fights or anything. We all have a good laugh and get ready to go out again. It's quite exciting. The 20-lap final, it's actually 18-1, I believe now. It's awful hard, and it's hard for me because it's a long time in that boat. There's a couple of my fans. I pay them to do that.
A couple of them, many. But this weekend, these boats will spend as much time out of the water as they do in the water. They'll bang and clang like a demolition derby. It's a sight to behold. Jerry, best of luck this weekend.
One thing
Thanks
I'd
for
like
spending.
to say
Yes.
before we start like NASCAR. We have a jet ski brings us down. We're 2 abreast with 6 rows, hopefully 12 boats here. What's exciting is the first turn. A lot of times 8 of us will get there at the same time and it gets really crowded. And then the race is on if you can get through the first turn.
It's all a bunch of fun, and I'll tell you, people are going to be excited about what they see. We'll be back in just a minute as we will look at the other 2 classes of boat here this weekend as our Rockin' the River special continues here
Thanks
on
to
BCTV.
NGK for putting this on.
With our Rockin' the River preview special, Jeff Doan along with Grant Schubert. And Grant, at 15 years old, you've been blessed with a few opportunities and you're really making strides with this 45 boat.
Yes, sir.
And when you look around, talk about the mentorship that you've received from a few great people around you.
Well, my uncle has been like the greatest help to me ever. Like, my dad's always busy trying to help put this on. But my uncle's always here for me. He's my crew chief, radio man, engine builder. Everything I can do, like, he does it with me.
Now the uncle is Michael Schubert. Michael with many, many years of driving experience as well. How easy does that make it for you to listen to somebody that's got that much knowledge and did that much work on the boat to help prepare it?
It's really easy because I know he knows what he's talking about, and like, he just knows what he's doing. So like, if he tells me I'm trimmed up too high, I gotta trim it down because he knows exactly what he's doing.
Now you are getting a much better feel of this boat all the time. When he starts talking to you about these things, isn't it nice when it makes a little bit more sense what he's saying?
Yeah.
So as we go on this weekend, at 15 years old, stepping up into this class, he's ready to make some noise and make experiences in history on the Saginaw River. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome back to our Rockin' the River special as I am with the king of Formula One powerboat racing from the state of Texas, Tracy Hawkins. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you, Jeff. Glad to be here.
Well, as you converge on this river, you've had a few experiences on this river, most of them very good.
I have. Back in '96 or '97, I had a little issue, but it wasn't nothing major. But yes, Bay City's always been pretty good to me. The Seabolt sitting over here, I've always run her in the past and done really well. We, back in 2016, I think, as you know, we give you something to talk about, myself and Chris Fairchild and Michael Schubert. And it's quite the river, though. You know, if us drivers have an old saying, I'm sure you've already heard it, but if you survive the Saginaw, you win. You know, so
to get on the podium is a bonus.
It is very much a bonus. We were fortunate enough to do well back then, and we're looking forward to it. We got a new boat right here we built, as you know. That first race out, we tore it up, so we got her back together. This is really her first shot at it. So, but we're excited, and we think we're going to have a good weekend.
Now, when I went and looked through your trailer yesterday, you've got a great variety of props, but you have a special prop on it that says Bay City.
I do, and that prop is, you wasn't supposed to see that. I don't, you know, not everybody knows that thing's in there, but
well, this won't air until after Sunday, so
that's all good. But yeah, that is the prop that I run in '96. I mean, in 2016, and I got that prop from Tim Seabolt, and that prop is pretty special. And if the course is the size that it normally is, we're gonna do well. We're gonna do well one way or another. But that prop is the only race I run. That prop is Bay City.
Now, talk about your shop for a minute and what it is as a mecca for all the Texas drivers and the inspiration that you can provide to them in the shop.
I don't know how I inherited all these guys, but you know, we have a lot of fun. Wes Cheatham's, who's driving the 4 boat this weekend, he's my adopted nephew. I'm his adopted uncle. You know, I don't know that I'm his adopted nephew, but but anyway, and then we got Drew Gaspar in the 70 boat. Johnny and James Fleming, they hang out at our shops, and we do all the work around my shop. I've set my shop up. I'm really proud of it as a racing shop, and we spend a lot of hours out there. We work hard at it. We're always, every day, we're working on race boats, and these guys, they say, man, do we ever get a break? No. You know, if the boat's sitting there, there's always something to be doing. So we take pride in that, and generally we try to be well prepared when we get here. You know, Jude's a rookie this year, and he's coming along real good. Wesley, you know, he speaks for himself. He's done a good job. I wouldn't have him in my backup boat, you know, if I didn't have all the confidence in the world in him. So we built this boat, started this boat after the awards banquet, and we had a little bit of motivation from the top spot guy, you know, and he's my friend, Ashton Brinker, but he gave me a lot of incentives. So I went home that night. When we got home, Janie and I, my sweetheart, I climbed out of the truck and I went to the shop and started building. So she's brand new. We're excited. We do all our own in-house work, in-house builder motors, and we do all our boat work. So we're pretty self-efficient.
Coming off a second place overall finish last year, there's only one spot left to go, and that's up to the top spot. And we know that's what you continue to strive for. Best of luck this weekend and the rest of the 2019 season.
We have our work cut out for us by having a couple of hiccups in the first 2 races, but we're not giving up, and we're shooting for it.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jeff.
Back in a moment as our 2019 Rockin' the River special continues on Bay County TV. Drivers, you are under starters orders, and down goes the first flag, and down goes the second.
There they go. Whoever's got the drone over here on the side of the road,
Ashton Rinker, he takes a real wide turn out of 2 mil, had a little trouble with that turn. Look at the race for third. Let's go 3 wide.
Ashton almost dumped it in those waves from the start. I told you that's a tricky area down there.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the 2019 Rockin' the River preview special here, sponsored by Real Flavors. On next side, Tim Seabolt and Tim. You've enjoyed this river greatly on occasion, and then there's other occasions where this river's bitchy.
Yeah, you know, you got to respect the Saginaw River because the fastest boat doesn't always win this race. So first thing, you have to endure the Saginaw River. You got seawalls on both sides. It's narrow. You've got a lot of boats that are going to be out there, and your equipment's got to make it. So, and then on top of it, you got to be a little lucky because you know, with all the backwash coming off the seawalls, it gets extremely rough, and you got to have those lucky bounces sometimes.
Now, you and your brother have both got 5 victories on this water. We won't talk about how many times Dad has won this race, because he wouldn't like to hear. He's been here many times and not really been fortunate and not be able to win, but he wanted to share it with the kids. And so both of Timmy and Mike both got the chance to enjoy it. Your transition now, though, is a natural one from finishing your final lap tour in 2016. Talk about the position you're in now to further promote this racing series.
Well, what we really wanted to do is we wanted to bring the sponsors that I had at my last year of racing, which had been with me for several years, and brought them in as series sponsors, so that way we can grow the sport once again. And now we are seeing a transition from some of the smaller markets into larger markets, and it's really been good for everybody.
Now, these races, you're pulling well over 20 Formula One boats. I'm one of the few people that understand the amount of time and effort that you spend communicating with these people, making certain that they're on for the next event. People don't know the work that goes into making this happen and keeping people excited and interested.
You know, it's a tough thing, and it takes a lot of work, but the main thing is you have to be consistent at working on it, and you got to have a good line of communication with everybody, so that way we can get them here.
We like the product, we have great respect for it. We look forward to making more happen. Back in a moment as our pre-season special continues in just a moment on Bay County TV. Trying to come back up quickly. Whitney Fletcher maintains that 3rd position. The 52 black boat of Jerry Rinker. Spencer Love had a little trouble. Good afternoon and welcome back. Jeff Doan here as we put the wraps on our 2019 Rockin' the River preview special, as we have gotten a flavor of the Formula One boats, the Formula Light boats, the tri-hull boats, talked to a couple of race officials, really got a feel for what we're in store for the weekend. Ideal conditions with sunshine and low 80s will prevail on the water, as 22 Formula One boats are going to hit the water and make a major splash this weekend in Bay City. Special thanks to Real Flavors for their title sponsorship of this return event for the 31st year. Hope you enjoyed our special. We'll look forward to talking with you soon.